The sixth greatest fact of all time, is that of all the years in the history of human existence, there is a single worst. Don't believe me? In 1346, the Black Plague nearly wiped out all of Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. In just 2 years, a third of Europe perished. In just 18 months, 40% of the city of London died. And still, it isn't the worst year in human history. In 1315, torrential biblical rains flooded the Northern Hemisphere, so that humanity experienced the worst famine in recorded history. It's estimated that as much as 40% of Europe and Asia died from starvation. Even King Edward II here couldn't find food. And still, it isn't the worst year in recorded history, because if you lived in the year 536, you didn't just suffer famine or plague, you suffered through both. On March 24th, 536, a massive volcanic eruption somewhere on Iceland darkened the skies. At first, archaeologists thought contemporary historians like this man, Procopius, were being hysterical when they said that the sun shone with the power of the moon for an entire year. But then they began to find records like these. By looking at tree rings from trees that grew during that ancient period, we can see unusual damage. Frozen sap in this tree ring from 536 from a tree that grew in Mongolia proves that even in summer, Europe and Asia suffered prolonged periods of freezing temperatures. Earth's temperature suddenly plunged more than 15 degrees. A blizzard blanketed Baghdad. In China, it snowed through the summer. Famine hit the cities so badly, the citizens simply abandoned them and returned to hunting and gathering. And then it got worse. The cold forced plague-ridden rodents out of the high Eurasian steppe and into the populated lowlands, where it traveled in the body of silk traders to Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. It's said to have first hit the Mediterranean in the Egyptian port city of Pelusium. From there, it spread throughout Europe, where it's estimated to have killed as many as 100 million people and destroyed empires. It may have even led to the fall of the Britons and the rise of the Anglo-Saxons, because the Britons traded with the Byzantine Empire, while the Anglo-Saxons did not. Plague traveled on the Byzantine ships and destroyed what remained of the Briton forts. Anglo-Saxon poetry describes Briton forts as being wastelands, where death swept everything away.